Welcome to Cruise Kibitz, where we give you all the advice that you didn't ask for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cruise Kibitz. I am Cheryl, also known as Sig Cruiser.
I am Kiki from Team Reese Travels.
And I am Siobhan from Parker's on the Go.
And together we are Cruise Kibitz, and today we have an episode for you. So today we are going to talk about, hey, do you need a passport to even cruise? So that's our question for today. Have you guys ever heard anybody ask that question by chance?
Lord have
I wonder if Siobhan has.
You mean our viral TikTok that has 4.6 million views of people fussing me out about having a passport to cruise? No, I haven't at all.
Now, I am sure those TikTokers are very nice when they come into your comments now, Siobhan.
All right.
Sweetest people ever.
Okay, well, since Siobhan needs some time to think about it, think up an answer, then I will come to you, Kiki, first. So, so Kiki, have you heard this question, and what's your answer to that?
I have heard this question many, many times. I have heard people answer it one way, and I have heard people answer it the other. And my answer is there is no short answer for this question because it all depends on where you going, where you leaving from, where you going back to. There are a lot of factors that go into whether or not you need a passport. I guess if you're thinking of a traditional cruise where you are leaving out of, say, a Florida port and coming back into a Florida port, technically on paper, no, you do not need a passport. Do I think it's a wise decision to travel that way without one? I do not, and I would not recommend it. Um, yeah, I just there again, there are a lot of different reasons why. And even with leaving out of a say Miami port and coming back into a Miami port, there's if you're visiting certain ports, you might need it for those ports that you're visiting. Like there's so many reasons out there in which you could possibly need it. Aside from just the emergency factor of what could happen when you're on a cruise and why you would be in a much better situation if you were prepared and had a passport. So, yeah, there's not a simple answer to it.
Yeah.
My recommendation is yes, go get the passport.
All right. Well, as we said, Siobhan, you're a travel agent, a seasoned travel agent. So I'm sure you have heard this question a time or two. So, so you tell us what has been your experience with people asking this question, and what do you say? You know.
Do I have to have a passport to cruise? No, you do not. You can cruise with your ID and your birth certificate, your state ID and your birth certificate. You can cruise with your enhanced ID. You can cruise with your form of natural citizenship. You can cruise with a lot of things. But as a travel agent, as a travel advisor, and as a seasoned cruiser, if something happens, whether, as Kiki said, a medical emergency, if you've had one too many daiquiris at Senior Frogs and you just decided you want to lay out on the beach and you fall asleep and you wake up and you notice the ship is pulling away, you become one of those famous things called ship runners, pier runners. A lot of things can happen that can keep you from getting back to your ship on time. And unfortunately, a birth certificate is not going to get you back home on a plane. So, as far as I am concerned, I would heavily suggest, and I heavily suggest to my customers, clients, to get a passport. I will not passport shame if you decide you don't want one. If you want to cruise with a birth certificate, oh yes, I have been a cruise of passport shaming.
What's your
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you finished?
oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean,
I'm very passionate about the subject. My apologies.
I still don't need one because if I get caught overseas without it, if I can just go to the U.S. embassy.
Mm-hmm. You can. They could be closed. They're going to help you, but they're going to actually charge you for all the time and energy it takes to get you back home. and you have to have somewhere to stay until they're open. So you have to get a hotel. You're going to have to actually pay fees. You might have to wire somebody for additional money. Maybe you cruise on a budget and you didn't prepare to get left behind in a different country. There's a lot of things that can happen that will make it more expensive for you to get back home. Rather, you just go ahead and get that passport and it lasts you for 10 years and $160.
Yeah.
That's a whole $16 a year, Siobhan.
It's a whole 16. Listen, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. I feel like if you want to cruise with your birth certificate, that's your right. You may have reasons why you want to cruise for with your birth certificate. Maybe you got bad child support. Maybe you got tax issues. Maybe you have a criminal record. You don't want nobody to find you. I don't know. Maybe you just don't want a passport, and that's your business because you're cruising with your birth certificate for 45 years and nothing happened yet. It's all on you. I'm just saying, be careful. I'm just saying, as a travel advisor and someone who is passport heavy, I would highly suggest you get a passport. And don't come at me in the comments. I know. I know. I just want the best for everyone, and I want everybody's book to be stamped just like mine is. And Kiki doesn't want to be a part of Cruise Kibitz anymore because now everybody's going to come after her in the comments.
I will say that as a travel agent, that makes me nervous the most when, people, especially the longer cruises, and they just don't want to get a passport, and especially if they have time for a passport.
Yeah.
So it just makes me nervous. It's like, because nobody plans for an accident to happen. Nobody plans to get stuck. You don't plan that. So it's like, you just like travel insurance. It's like you want to take all the precautions that you can.
And like I tell my kids, just because you can do something don't mean you should.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And just to know, even you can't even apply it as like a blanket cruising thing, because like Virgin requires passports.
Yeah.
So like there are cruising situations where you actually do need it. Like you gotta have it if you gonna get on the ship. So I don't want a passport, shame.
Yeah, no, we listen, we are 100%, and I know maybe I'm not the one that be making that statement right now because I just went on my little tirade about passports. But seriously, honestly, I booked plenty of people who do not have passports on cruises, and that is definitely your prerogative. I do want people to be well informed, and maybe that's the insurance agent in me as well, because of course, protecting yourself at all costs and all measures, even though it doesn't seem logical now, later on down the road, it may be something that you will do. So please, if you can, do. And if you can't, we understand. Enjoy cruising with your birth certificate, and Godspeed.
All right, ladies. Good topic. Good topic. So anything else that you ladies want to add?
I think we've said enough.
So, y'all don't cancel me. Don't cancel me, y'all. Don't cancel me.
Mom, you don't want to drop, like information on how we can find our U.S. embassies, just in case. Oh, okay.
I ain't saying nothing else.
All right. Well, ladies, I think we should just call this a podcast.
Might be the best.
Yeah. Good call.
All right, ladies. Happy
cruising.
cruising.